In a season that's been defined by injuries, reinforcements are finally here. This week, we saw Tarik Skubal and Eduardo Rodriguez return to the mound. And yesterday, Alex Faedo and Akil Baddoo rejoined the Tigers. Today, the Tigers get their biggest shot in the arm to date as Riley Greene returns from his 5+ week absence and looks to lead the Tigers to a victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. Tigers baseball on Bally Sports Detroit is presented by Figer Law. And we have more good news. The grounds crew has made its way out to the field. The tarp getting ready to be peeled back, and baseball will begin here at Comerica Park at 2:20. So it amounts to a little bit of an hour and 10-minute rain delay is out of the way, and a big crowd full of Blue Jays and Tigers fans is waited out, and they'll be rewarded with baseball here coming up momentarily. Of course, the big news of the day, as you just heard, Riley Greene makes his return off the injured list after missing the better part of the month with that stress reaction in his left shin, but he is back today, and there is more good news. Our Players Only broadcast resumes as well with Craig Monroe, Dan Petrie, and Todd Jones, and they're upstairs in the booth today taking cover from the inclement weather. I hope your sugar cubes will be all right there this afternoon.
Mick, I think we're going to be okay up here in the booth. We will stay dry, but listen, there's an excitement around this team today, getting Riley Greene back in the fold. Fellas, what's your thoughts on getting Riley Greene back?
Well, I just think it's going to be a big boost for everybody concerned. And you know what? It was a rough game for the Tigers last night. So just having him back in the lineup is going to perk everybody up, I believe. And I know we're all excited to see him play. And he's the designated hitter in today's ball game. So that's all he has to worry about is hitting. Doesn't have to be worried about those spectacular plays that we've grown accustomed to seeing.
And plus, guys, it's one more bat in the lineup, right?
Yeah.
You can extend the batting order for the guys and give them more depth to the order. Riley is a welcome addition, and they're going to take their time because Amphibia, guys, is a big deal.
Yes,
and you want to make sure that he's going to be there for the long haul this season and into the rest of his career. So they'll DH him, and then they'll play him, and then they'll give him a day off, and he'll be mad, but they'll have a chance to.
He will be mad.
He'll get back in the order, and then he'll be happy. But then they're going to tell him to take a day off, and he'll be mad. But just getting these guys. Just listen. We were talking about it all day in the pregame and everything. Just getting more guys back on the ship, and getting the ship back out into the open seas with a full arsenal is going to be fun.
Well, we're fired up here for the Players Only broadcast, but let's send it back down to Mickey York. Mickey?
All right, guys, yeah, plenty of surprises, special guests, and a few prizes thrown out to the fans as well. Looking forward to another afternoon with our Players Only broadcast. The opening lineups and today's first pitch, Game 2 between the Blue Jays and your Detroit Tigers, coming up next here on Bally Sports Detroit. Sports is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. By Wallside Windows. Buy one window, get one free, plus 5 years, no interest. By Figer Law. One goal, one mindset, justice for you. And by GMC. Visit your closest GMC dealer for exceptional offers all month long. Matt Manning making his stroll to the dugout in anticipation of his start today. There's been some weather in the area, but we are scheduled to start here at 2:20 p.m., although the field still covered by the tarp. Hopefully that's peeled back here momentarily. In any event, our Players Only broadcast is ready to go as we send it up to the booth to Craig Monroe, Dan Petrie, and Todd Jones. Guys?
Right, thanks, Mick. Well, guys, it's another Players Only broadcast. Last night we were out in right field. It was country night. Today we're going to be cozy in the booth. What are you looking forward to today, Todd?
I'm looking forward to this angle that I get a chance to see because I don't get to be in the booth a whole lot. They don't let me down there in the booth. They keep me. The managers used to keep me in the bullpen and the pregame show. And yesterday we were out there. We had a great time. But today, on the field, I'm excited to see Matt throw. I want to see this guy, really come in and make some pitches, make some adjustments, and see how he's going to fare against this lineup. What about you, Dan?
Well, I agree. I like watching both of them pitch, but, you know, that recent shot right there of just having John Schneider, the Blue Jays manager, and A.J. Hinch, along with Heather Nabozny down there talking about the weather. They haven't pulled the tarp yet. Sam Menzin on the phone. They're one of the Tigers' general managers, and obviously getting the latest weather report, but both starting pitchers are, Matt Manning's already in the dugout, and Kevin Gausman's on his way in right now, so they've already warmed up. I don't think it'll take them too long to get that tarp off, but you don't want to have those pitchers sitting around after already warming up and then having to go out and start cold.
Yeah, and that was my question for you, Petey, knowing that you've dealt with this, you've been through it. What's the longest that you can wait before you feel like you got to revamp and get yourself back ready to go take them out?
Well, think about, this. I mean, during a game, you might have a long inning, a 20-minute inning where your guys are scoring all kinds of runs. So, you can certainly sit there for a while. Matt Manning's just got his arm, a towel around there just to keep it warm. I don't think they'll limit him to any kind of amount of pitches, so he'll be able to go out there and they'll say, make sure you're ready to go. It's not like 8 pitches and throw it down. Make sure you're ready to go, and I'm sure Kevin Gausman will be afforded the same luxury.
Yeah, well, what's a good thing about today's game is there's technology that they can be precise with,
right?
Because you don't want to mess with the starting pitchers. You don't want to make a team be short going into the All-Star break or something like that. So these decisions are precise, and they're most of the time they're accurate. They're a little bit frustrating, but if Heather's out there, then it's going to be the right decision, and it looks like they are going to pull the tarp, gang. Get ready for it.
You're going to hear the crowd roar.
Look at them roar.
Looks like we've got baseball, fellas.
Reminds me of the Bad News Bears. Remember the old movie in the 70s, and Bob Watson comes out and starts chanting to the fans, let them play, let them play, let them play.
Well, let's just take a look at what Riley Green's been able to do. And played in 52 games. You see the batting average there, right around 300. He's hitting .410 with the ball put in play. What I like is the OPS, on base plus slugging. And again, you talk about a solid hitter in the batter's box, a guy that lengthens your lineup. Now I think the other guys slot in the right spot with this left-handed, a potent left-handed bat back in the fold. Things are starting to shape up for this Tigers offense, and really from a pitching standpoint, getting Skubal back, now getting Faedo, well, he's got sitting back down. But we got to talk about Riley Green and how much this bat is going to impact this entire lineup. How excited is Spencer Torkelson, Dan, right now, getting this guy back?
Well, it's going to be nice to see his buddy back in that lineup, and Torque was doing just fine, but, hopefully that just energizes him a little bit more. I just think about Riley, how long he's been chomping at the bit to get out, and back on the field. He's been on road trips. He's at the top of the dugout stairs greeting his teammates and everything. Now he's had to put up with over an hour rain delay. Now the tarp's on the field. It's delayed pulling off. Like, what are you doing to me, guys? I mean, I'm ready to get back out there. Don't be messing with me. His heart's racing. He's got the butterflies. Can't wait to get out there. And they're just, look at his eyes. Like, come on. Are you kidding me? What's going on?
Ready to go. I talked to him about his stint on the IL, and I said, well, what did you do? He goes, see, I was just bored, man. I have to be honest with you. He goes, I was bored. All I did was watch movies, Netflix series after Netflix series. He's like, I've had enough of television. I want to get back in the fold, be in the trenches with the boys, Todd. And again, when you go through an injury, the one thing you do miss is competing at this level.
Yeah, that's true. Once you see your injury, you're going to be able to get over, and you can, you don't have to worry about it. That's why he went down for his rehab assignment, went 5 for 5, humble flex, 425-foot homer, right? And now he comes up and he wants to test the Miggy's not even sliding over to give him enough space to sit on the bench. That's hilarious.
Well, that's a perfect guy to sit next to, the DH. He's got a lot of experience.
That's right.
DH, and so you can pick his brain. And then this
there
is
they are. Yeah.
The boy. Like, this is what I love to see.
Yeah.
You have that teammate. Yes, we're all teammates, but you have that best friend in the trenches with you. living out your dreams. And these guys have talked about this even coming through the minor leagues when they played together in AA and in AAA and now in the big leagues. Looking forward to impacting.
Here's Simo. I just noticed this, and I never noticed this before about Spencer Torkelson having the eye black or the patches under his eyes. Remember him losing the ball last night? You know, I wonder if that has anything to do with the reason why he's got those on for today's game.
Peter, that's a great point, and I mean, we're guessing here, but I'm going to guess that you're absolutely right.
What is the
That'll
deal?
Take over the glare.
So, like, as a position player, like I'm a pitcher, I'd never wore eye black. What's the difference between the eye, like the actual eye, like crayon, the indentation, like the thing that you paint on, and then those are stickers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Those
like,
look like
what's the difference? What's the difference?
I'll
Is it
be
just
honest
the
with you.
old school feel,
It's
or
the
is
old
it
school
just
feel for me?
it's just a lot easier to put on?
Well, those are a lot easier. The stickers are a lot easier to put on. But I never wore any of that. Give me the Oakleys, which you can't wear the Oakleys today. The sun's not out. But there will be a time in the game tonight where you see the clouds, where it's going to be tough when you look up to try to find that baseball. That's going to be tough for the outfielders as well. It's going to be important to not take your eyes off the ball when you're tracking down a fly ball in the outfield as well. It's going to be a challenging day, but again, the boys got to be up for it. We need to put together a solid game against one of the better teams in the East. And let's toss down to Trevor T. You've got more on Riley Green. What do you got, T?
Just so happens that he gets activated on his bobblehead day. You can't make this stuff up. And what he's doing here, everybody, is diving in center field, making a catch. Tyler Alexander came up to him in the clubhouse, said, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be having this bobblehead day because you make all your diving catches when I start. And true to form, Riley said, yeah, I do make good diving catches when TA is on the mound. Let's look at a couple of those. He goes all out no matter who's on the mound, but Todd has been the beneficiary of that as we take a look at some of this marvelous leather work by Riley Green, who's back in the lineup, but he won't play every game in center field. Today he will DH. He'll get some days off as they try to ease him back in, ease the amount of pounding he has to take on that injured left fibula as he makes his way back into the lineup after the All-Star break. Let's hear what Riley Green has to say about his return to the lineup here today on his bobblehead day, guys.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. I was talking to Todd earlier, and he was like, hey, that bobblehead wouldn't have happened without me because you make all your diving catches when I'm pitching. So I thought that was pretty funny.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. He's not. I made a lot of catches behind Todd. So.
Simo, you've got him in Pick the Stick. He told me he loves to DH. I know some guys don't like to DH. They want to play the field, get the rhythm of the game. He said, I was killing it as a DH down in Toledo. I'm good for it. 5 for 5 the other night, so maybe that'll rub off and you'll grab a few points here and Pick the Stick today.
Well, I definitely hope so. Listen, I'm just happy that he's back and his impact is going to be felt today against the Toronto Blue Jays. But yeah, Riley Green, we can talk about the offense, and rightfully so. But his ability to make plays in the outfield, laying out, making grabs, he gets incredible jumps. His pre-pitch setup, meaning where when the ball's in the hitting zone, he is on the ball of his feet, anticipating that ball being hit, and he takes the right routes. He's not the fastest center fielder, but when you take efficient routes to the baseball, gets behind it, he's textbook when you start talking about playing the outfield.
And that's the great thing about the analytics today. You can see the outfielders that can actually get the good angles and get the good jumps and then look and see who can really fly. But we should really ask Riley how he's feeling today and see if he's ready to go. Riley,
Are you ready?
Are you ready to go? Yeah, I feel like I'm ready to go, guys.
Are you back and ready? I mean, are you really back and ready to go?
Well, Simo, I'm not really 100%, but, we're going to go out there. I'm going to DH today, so I'm looking forward to having a chance to get out there and help the team win. Good Lord willing, things will work out. Take it one day at a time.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching you play, young fella.
Well, thanks, Simo. Learned it all from you. Back to you guys.
Well, it's so important, too, to have a good center fielder behind you, Jonesy. You know that. I know back in the old Tiger Stadium, you too. I mean, when it was 440 feet to center field, Chet Lemon was there behind me all the time, and not only going back on balls, but coming in on balls. And these are the kind of guys I'll never forget that when they go out and take early batting practice, I'd go out and shag for them, because you want to make sure that they see you out there busting your tail, because they certainly are going to do that, for you during the game.
That's right. And in our day, we had Curtis Granderson, and we had 430 feet to work with out at Comerica Park.
Look at the young Curtis Granderson there.
Curtis would jump up and go get everything all the doubles and all the triples that I would have had to potentially give up. Curtis ran down for me, and the year that he did the 20 homers, 20 doubles, 20 triples, he probably had 20 diving catches that he made for us, because he was an amazing outfielder. Shout out Andy Van Slyke, because I'll never forget you guys, Marcus, Curtis, all those guys and Andy Van Slyke hitting you guys different fly balls every single day, because that's what it took for you guys to make sure that y'all were ready to go.
Well, the only gripe that I had with Curtis Granderson when he played center field here with the Tigers and I played left field was that he was so greedy. He wanted to catch every ball. I'm like, listen, Curtis, if you don't get over into right center field and help Maglio out, and let me handle this over here in left field.
Yeah, I got left field.
I got left field.
Help Mags, because Mags needs some help.
Oh, was he greedy. He was greedy. Oh, we got players coming on the field. Matt Manning.
We got honorary ball girl coaches and people coming out. The umpires could probably stand to get out of the way.
Well, he's chomping at the bit too, certainly.
What do you think they talk about right there when the two managers or the bench coaches come out? What are they talking about?
I think they go over rules and things like that. I've actually taken a lineup card out of Yankee Stadium. Phil Garner let me do that. That was a lot of fun. And we talked about the weather and where's a good restaurant. But I think when you come into the park for like a new series and you haven't been in a while, you talk about some ground rules and things like that. But mostly you're just talking about movies and favorite birthday cake.
All right, well, here's the Blue Jays batting order presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It's Bo Bichette who leads the American League in batting average. There you see it there, 323. And batting third is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Jim Price, that was for you. And then we're going to go with the bottom of the batting order. Kevin Kiermaier rounds out this potent Blue Jays lineup. Look for Matt Manning to really have to navigate and change speeds to do anything against this lineup.
Yeah, and that tough Blue Jay lineup will be facing Matt Manning. He's making his 5th start and 3rd since returning from the IL. Picked up his 2nd win of the season last Sunday in Colorado. To me, he had a really good fastball in Texas. He had a really good slider in Colorado. You put both of those together to go along with that curveball combination. Put all those 3 pitches together, and that spells trouble for the Blue Jays today.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching Manning.
All right, guys, let's take a look at the Tigers defense. Sorry, we got Matt Verling in left field, Jake Marisnick in center, Kerry Carpenter in right field. We've got Spencer Torkelson at first, Zach Short at second base, Javi Baez at short, Zach at third, and Eric Haas is your catcher today. Well, we got a little rain on that camera. We're going to get that.
A little rain ain't going to hurt anybody.
But it's over. We're ready to go.
Boys are ready to go. Should be a fun, exciting game. Another fun and exciting game. Yesterday, not so much for the Tigers. The Toronto Blue Jays had 2 big innings.
2 big innings.
6 and 5 runs in those 2 innings. And that was the difference in the game. See if the Tigers' offense can get something going today.
One thing that I've noticed, I haven't had a chance to watch Matt a lot this season live, is that he comes at you right at you with fastballs and sliders with the right-handed hitters. So he's gonna come at you. And as I was trying to say in the pregame, but I'm not well versed yet, was 54% of the time last outing. That hitter, it was done in three pitches. So 54% of the time, he's coming right at you.
And that's what the Tigers want to see from Matt Manning. They really want him to attack the strike zone. His stuff plays, right? Yes. But he has to throw strikes and he has to throw competitive pitches in the strike zone.
I think he just got hit.
I don't know. He threw his hands up. Okay, yeah.
And it's raining? this fastball just slips away. It looked like a four-seamer. There was no intention there. You want to make sure that Mr. Bichette is okay on his way to first base, but that's certainly not where he wanted that pitch right there.
Well, he's definitely not trying to hit him there, but Matt Manning has to pitch inside to Bo Bichette. Bichette uses the opposite field as well as anybody in the major leagues. So he's looking for the ball out over the plate. The way to get him out is you have to crowd him.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and
right.
So
but
it's not intentional.
Right.
But, again, you want him to be uncomfortable so you can open up the outside part of the plate if you're Matt Manning.
That's right, which you have to do today.
Yeah, I just remember Alek Manoah yesterday throwing one up and into Spencer Torkelson, second hitter of the game yesterday. And, that sets a tone. That other dugout sees that and says, whoa, wait a minute, first hitter of the game just got hit. That plants a little bit of a seed.
What about the off-speed pitches? I'm thinking about pitchers not being able to, not feel the baseball. It's a little bit wet.
I'm thinking about this. I'm not seeing any rosin out there. I'm wondering. Oh, there's rosin
behind him.
Rosin behind him. He's okay there.
So will the ball have the same kind of spin?
Well, you have to make sure when it's a little wet that you've got to finish your pitches. You can't like snap them like in a regular day. You've got to make sure that you can get all the way down, pull all the way down, and finish your breaking ball, finish your fastball, and be proactive in that regard.
How much are you trying to keep your hands dried off or clean behind you? Like, are you using
Yes, all the time.
So what are you using? Are you using your uniform?
Well, you use your back pocket.
Okay.
You might stick your hand in there, but you get that rosin, and then you get the mixture of the dirt and the rosin to either make it more tacky or less tacky.
Yeah, 92-mile-per-hour fastball up. Manny already getting himself in a little bit of trouble here. Walks Belt, hits Bichette, and now with one of the most dangerous hitters in the American League in the batter's box.
I had the chance to I was coaching in the Tigers organization, and a few years back, Vladimir Guerrero was down in high A ball with the Blue Jays, and his scouting report was identical to his father's. And the setup and the swing,
turn it,
get one.
Oh,
there we go. He got one there. Here's the thing that I was talking about here with Vlad and then Vlad's Jr.
I mean, just look how they both approach the baseball, so identical.
Yes.
I mean,
But the report,
image.
Like the report was like identical as well, and it was, this guy's very, very aggressive, can cover a lot of things. You've got to stay moving throughout the zone.
Don't want to become predictable against a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
That's right. Or this guy either. Chapman here can certainly make you pay.
You see Matt Manning getting rid of that baseball. That last slider kind of slipped out of his hand and just kind of spiraled on him. The first pitch he threw to Guerrero Jr. was a good slider, but that one he says, nah, I got to get a new baseball so I can get that good grip. I don't want to make a mistake right here against a home run hitting like Chapman. Yeah,
he's throwing every one of them away.
Yep.
These are the things that you just have to kind of fight through, because you got to trust. You got to trust the organization's made the call, and it's going to be a 15-20 minute window that you're going to have to chance to pitch through this, and hopefully you can get a quick inning and get the Blue Jays pitcher out there so they can capitalize as well. Good fastball on the glove side that you talked about yesterday with Manoah. Manning having a that's a good sign for me to be able to hit that glove side down and away to a righty.
On a 2-0 pitch,
yeah.
Also. Stay away from that middle in.
And see, he wants to go to that breaking ball, but it's not breaking.
Yeah.
It's staying up. It's kind of look like it's just spinning and staying up.
That's
but
right.
that doesn't mean that it's not going to come back to him. I mean, he looks frustrated because he can't get it right now. But that could have something to do with that moisture, that little bit of rain. He's also, clawing at the mound a little bit, the clay. That doesn't mean it's not going to come back in that very next inning. There you go.
Oh,
That's a big out.
that is a huge out. That ball came back. I thought
Sure
that ball was
did.
going in the
Yeah.
That ball's
stands.
going out too. You can
And
see.
you can see the wind blowing that ball back into play. Torkelson does an excellent job of not giving up on that ball.
I
And you
think
can
he gave up on it and came back in it. Yeah, and the eye black worked. Right?
Yeah, the eye black is
The eye
working.
black worked. But you can see Matt right now. He's digging around at that mound, and he's trying to get the clay out of his spikes, and it's a little bit of an adjustment, and it's when it's wet and you feel like you're losing your feel and your grip on your pitches, it can be frustrating. He still has to keep throwing the balls out, and the umpire's going to go out there like the old school and say, here, pick one,
or hand it to him so he doesn't have to throw it out there and it get all wet.
Well, and I also have to assume that, you look at the spikes, you tell me you have to keep cleaning them up. The spikes have to start to get a little heavy the more clay that he
Yeah, that's true.
gains.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
true.
But
'Cause
look
he's
at, there's
gathered
no
a bunch
hole.
of 'em.
There's no hole in front of that rubber. That's the thing. And so it's almost shiny out there. So that's the slippery part. Once a game keeps moving on, they're able to dig that hole deeper and deeper. But right now, it's been patted down that there's very little room between the rubber and the hole in front. So the pushing off it becomes a little bit difficult.
And does Manning? Yeah, surely.
Gosman just
Yep.
sitting dry in the dugout. He may not even have to go out there. I mean, hopefully this rain slows up or
Will he
stops
be with,
completely.
Will he come out? Will Matt come out next inning with sleeves so he can have something to dry off on?
I like that. That's a great adjustment there, though.
Does he
Well,
have-
does the sleeve help, Petey?
I'll tell you what, the sleeve and with all the rain and everything on it, that's going to get heavier than heck. And you're going to drag that sleeve around. That's the last thing you want to do.
Well, so much for the sleeve.
Well, I was only out there for an inning, so.
Yeah, see, yeah. But it's miserable
But he
pitching in that
has-
rain. It is. It's probably miserable trying to hit it with the drops coming off the bill of the hat.
Well, the one thing I worry about being an outfielder was that when the ball goes up on a fly ball, just kind of looking up into the rain, trying to make sure I could keep my eyes on it.
It was a good curveball right
Sure
there.
was.
So maybe that's something that he can, because we didn't see too many of those curveballs in the first inning. We saw a lot of sliders, but
Yeah, the boy.
Atta boy, Manning.
There we go. Get out of that inning.
I mean, that's huge getting out of that inning there. Matt Manning making pitches when he needed to. Your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It's Zach McKinstry leading off, and a new addition, or a happy addition, is Riley Green in the 2 spots. Spencer Torkelson is in the 3 hole. And to round out this Tigers batting order, you got Zach Short and Jake Marisnik.
Tigers will be facing right-hander Kevin Gosman, who's making his 19th start. His 145 strikeouts are the most ever by a Blue Jay in their first 18 outings of a season, and was recently selected to his 2nd All-Star appearance. So Tigers have a tough task ahead of them, especially trying to hit that split-finger fastball, Simo.
Yeah, it's going to be a combination of good arm speed with the fastball. Fastball about 95 miles per hour. And then out of his hand, with that same kind of speed, it's going to be a splitting that is probably one of the toughest pitches to hit in baseball. I think the Tigers' approach today is to really try to get on that dead red. I mean, you get yourself in those good counts. Gosman doesn't shy away from the strike zone. Want to be on time.
You mean
for
swinging
that
early?
fastball. Early and often.
Early and often. That's right. You don't want to get to the split.
Ball's not carrying the day, boys. Well, this is a welcome sight to see. Riley Green.
He's back.
He's back. You know he's excited. Hopefully he can channel that excitement, stay within himself.
So this guy, Riley's looking to swing first pitch. I bet he gets a split. Breaking ball.
Yeah.
I
mean, Gausman knows he's
Gausman's
excited.
absolutely.
He knows he's ready to swing. He knows that he's ready to go. So I'll just drop you a little curveball there. See if he'll get that heater here.
that's a pretty good take.
When you see a hitter take a pitch like that, that means the timing is perfect.
Yeah, he's right.
That means
right
he's early, and he saw it so early that he can spit on it. When you're late, Todd, you're swinging at that pitch. Those
Really?
you're swinging at it. When you're late, you're speeding up everything, trying to get to the ball.
When you're struggling, you mean when you're feeling forward and things like that?
Well, that happens when you're feeling for it, but when your timing is off and that front foot's not getting down in time, that might get down.
No.
Well, I know Riley Green's going to take that knock. Good hitters get jammed. But Bo Bichette had a good beat on this ball, but take a look at Riley Green's swing. I talk about the timing, the rhythm, the timing. Front foot's down, head's down, gets under it a little bit, breaks his bat, and you can see Bo Bichette kind of slipped on the turf there trying to track this ball down. And Riley Green in his first at bat.
With a knock. That's a laser in the box score.
Doesn't that make Riley Green feel good too? He's got a hit out of the way instead of, coming back and maybe not having some success for a game or two. Now he's got one right away and says, I can just relax now and just take my A swing from here on out because I know the hits are coming.
It definitely takes a lot of pressure off you.
Any Simo's pick the stick.
Ooh,
there's a nice
get
hit.
in the gap, baby.
Here we go.
Come on, Green.
That's great. Riley scored from first. That
looks good. He looked good running.
Yeah, looked good running. That's great.
Tells me that the foot is healed up really nice, and he's ready to impact this team. But how about this swing here? You talk about Spencer Torkelson, excited about Riley Green back? Well, let me introduce you to this left center gap, Linya, and then look at Riley Green here. Picking him up, putting him down. He recognized that ball's going to get in the gap. And that's just making it happen, making things happen. Testing himself early with that fibula.
And that's a good sign for the third base coach because he didn't hesitate, which means there's been talk inside that he's ready to go. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I like that combination right there. Riley Green hitting in the 2 spot, and then right behind him, his bestie, Spencer Torkelson, driving him in. Shopping in the gap.
Laying off that split finger so far.
Just about to say that, Mr. Dan. You're right. These guys look like they're seeing that split pretty good. They've been made aware of it because Kevin Gausman leads the league, or up there in the league in strikeouts on a particular pitch.
And guys, what the Tigers' approach is today, and it tells me when they're spitting on that, slider, that split finger down, is they're forcing him up. They're looking up in the zone.
Let's check out the Verizon player profile from Kevin Gausman here. The split finger here has produced 80 strikeouts.
I mean, you start thinking about Charlie Morton and that curveball. It's one of the best in all of baseball. Garrett Cole and his four-seam, especially at the top of the zone. But make no mistake, this split finger is the best strikeout pitch in all of baseball.
And he left it up.
Get up and get out, ball. Oh, just missed it.
Yep. So that's the split finger that was left up a little bit, and Kerry knows exactly what to do with that.
He blasted that ball.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice piece of hitting there.
Well, you want to get this splitter up, but I want you to see the location of this split finger. That is thigh high, right over the middle of the plate. Look at the hips and the hand work together. And he crushes this ball, and I thought it was out of here. With the new dimensioners, let's see.
Step out.
Well, once they make that pitch, you can't challenge it now. But let's just take a closer look to see if that ball really got out.
Little situational hitting here.
Well, I really like this guy in the batter's box in this situation.
Exactly. Infield's in.
Controls the zone.
Yep.
Hits to the situation, so he's looking for something up. You can see the Blue Jays are playing him in. They want to cut off that run at home plate with Kerry Carpenter at third base. Well, you be the judge at home. What do you think here? What does it look like to you? Did that ball get over the yellow line? It might have landed right on. But nevertheless, big RBI, triple for Kerry Carpenter.
Hey. 3-1. This is a good situation to do something, but you don't want to get caught trying to do too much, right?
No, absolutely not.
Because you can take the walk, it doesn't matter, and then you can get the next guy, but you want to think about it up the middle. Very good. Take your walk. Now JB, 2 guys on. Maybe Javi takes a swing for himself here. You know, one of those one for yourself, 2 for the team type thing.
Well, I don't like that. I don't like that in this situation. Not with the runner at third base.
Okay.
I think it's a team at bat. I think his #1 goal should be get something up that he can drive to the outfield. Now I don't think he needs to alter his swing to try and do it. It's about contact points. When you catch it a little bit more out in front, when you don't let it get deep, catch a little bit off that front foot, that's going to allow you to get the lift that you need.
Right.
But when you start trying to create lift, the first thing that happens is that backside dips, and now you end up in this situation, you pop it up. You want to stay away from that right here.
I just thinking about Kevin Gausman having to sit in that dugout for a long time while Matt Manning was having his longer inning, and then having to get out there and get loose again. But just that little Riley Green single, you know, just out of the reach of Bo Bichette, and made this inning take off. And let's see if Matt Vierling over there at first base with to keep putting some pressure on Gausman. You know, Guerrero Jr. doesn't look like he's holding him much over there.
For me, that 1-0 slider to Baez really kind of tells me what the report is on Javi.
Oh,
you know, you've got some guys on base. You want to create a little bit, try to get something to drive, and he tries to throttle him with a slider.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes right back to it.
Yep. And that's if the Tigers score 3 or more runs in this game, you can visit a participating Arby's location tomorrow and receive a free small order of curly fries.
Curly fries. Curly fries.
Wait a minute. I mean, that was pretty smooth,
I mean, that's
Jonesy.
pretty.
I tell you what,
you get nervous, but what for?
My 4th grade English teacher would be very happy with that.
Man, you got to get a tape of that and send it.
Man.
Yeah.
So we got a 2-1 count here, something to hit. Let's see if he's going to make him hit a pitcher's pitch. And see, guys, you know what? That's the difference between an elite guy and a guy that's maybe not quite there yet. Is he's got confidence in his second and his third pitch to throw it in a 2-1 count of a big inning situation.
Yeah, just not having to give in, and he'll go back to that splitty, or he'll go slider.
Because
I mean, the book is that Javier Baez, let's just face it,
he's
an aggressive hitter.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And he'll chase that slider out of the strike zone.
That's right. But if you make a mistake, he can make you pay.
Oh, he will. See if Gausman hangs this slider here.
Another split. Check and see if he's pulled.
Let's just see if he was able to. Nope. Nice stretch there by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Riley Green getting it going early. Players only. Tigers scored a couple here in the first. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Just being back with the boys, dude. I really missed all the guys. You know, I feel like it's not the same, you know, being away from them. So, you know, I'm just excited to be back with the boys, be in the dugout, you know, just have as much fun as possible.
That's this afternoon's Miller Lite Report. Riley Green seeing his first action at the major league level since May the 30th after that stress reaction in his left fibula. Obviously running the bases well. He's already got a hit and a run scored in that first inning for the Tigers, making his presence felt in the return. Simo, you're the beneficiary because you took him and picked the stick. But just watching him run the bases, watching his approach right there, what were your thoughts?
Well, I thought he looked good. Ran well, pushing off those bags, hitting the inside part of the base. You don't think about it, but I mean, that puts a lot of stress on your foot. And he seems to be healthy and ready to go.
You know, as AJ was talking about this morning too, after being tested like that and running the bases, now he doesn't have to go out and play center field. You know, if he had to go back out there after, you know, being tested like that, running the bases, and be on his feet out and playing center field, so just kind of ease him in and passes the test here and see if he'll be in center field tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe that's the plan for him. I think they're going to try to play him in center field.
And Dan, further to your point, AJ said that after the All-Star break, Riley Green will get more DH opportunities. He'll also get days off. He may not like that, but they're going to ease him back in there and not have to have him take that pounding in the outfield and running the bases like Simo just illustrated. So they'll be patient with him coming back, and rightfully so.
Well, we know he's not going to like it because he'll tell you he wants to be in there every single day. But again, it's about protecting the players from themselves. And A.J. Hinch and his staff has done an excellent job of that with the guys that have come back. And they've been very patient and done their due diligence.
You see 3-2 count here with Muirfield choking up on the bat. Thinking about hitting some, making some good solid contact up the middle the other way. Draws a walk. Yeah, it looks like Matt Manning went in and changed uniforms. He was completely soaked through in the first inning, but the rain has went away, and the kitty litter is on the field, and we are back playing full guns. It's really amazing what Heather throughout her tenure here. Her first year was the last year at Tiger Stadium. Well, I don't remember. She was there in '99, and then her first year, I think she took over the first year of the stadium here in Comerica, and she's just done such a great job her entire tenure. Nice play. What I was meaning was Heather Naboznia is the head groundskeeper for the Tigers. She was the first lady grounds crew boss in Major League history, and she has been here since the beginning of Comerica Park, and she's a vital part to the team because she can help with outfielders cut the grass a little lighter, a little longer, help guys out that way, help guys on the infield as well, and she's just an integral part of the team.
Yeah, how about Matt Manning? The recognition there. Whit Merrifield at second base being a little bit too aggressive here. Take a look at Matt Manning, takes a peek, he looks at home plate, looks back. Merrifield thinks he got a chance to steal third base.
Tells me they got some information that Matt Manning only looks one time at second base.
Yeah, well, he mixed it up this time, and he was able to get Whit Merrifield trying to be a little bit too aggressive.
And Whit Merrifield loves to steal third base, too, because he knows it's very difficult. They can't hold him as close, the second baseman and the shortstop. But Matt Manning looked twice, and I think as soon as he spun his head, he says he's not going to look a third time. And that's when he took off, and he surprised him and did look that third time. And I think that might have been Matt Manning understanding Whit Merrifield being aggressive and trying to steal third base.
And even as a Blue Jay manager, I got no problem with that. That's just being aggressive, and then you got caught. That's not a big deal.
Well, I got a little bit of a problem with it, Todd. I'm going to be quite honest with you, because you're already in scoring position. So where are you going? You got to give that hitter an opportunity in the batter's box, man, to drive you in. And now you just ran yourself out of this inning, possible.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Get.
You got it.
Matt Vierland covering tons of ground in left field, making a play. Tigers coming up in the bottom of the second inning.
Is at Comerica Park with the Meyer Family Fun Day deal every Sunday. Get your 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of chips, and 4 Pepsi fountain drinks, all for $79. Go to tigers.com/Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, do it, Todd. TJ is in the house. I mean,
hey,
just
that
read
was a lot. That's a lot of words.
I mean, let's just see what you got here. I mean, that was pretty good, Todd.
That's a lot of words.
It is a lot of words, but you did great, brother. You did great.
It's nice and slow.
I mean, you're starting to be a pro at this.
Yeah,
You're starting to be a
key
pro
for
at
me,
this.
guys, the key for me is to
No, we
like
can
slow
throw it
down.
out now. We don't need that anymore.
I got to slow down. That's the whole thing.
You're
Well,
saying
we love you.
Fourth inning, get here quickly, you're saying, right?
No. I enjoy it. It's just much harder. Y'all make it look easy. This is tough stuff. This wearing makeup and talking baseball. It's hard.
TJ, you're funny. I love you.
Thanks, man. I got my notes here. I got my right.
Dude, you've got it all. You've got it all. You're all set. You're ready for this, man. Listen, you're all ready for this. You got this covered.
I got a hit.
We do got the Riley Green, though. Like, I don't know if y'all love this, but I absolutely love this.
Hey, Ximo, I got a hit. I'm super excited. We got Eric Haas with 2 strikes.
Yeah, I've been kind of going through it a little bit. I've described it as being in between.
Yep.
Early on on breaking balls, late on fastballs. Trying to get back to that place to where he's doing damage. I talked to him yesterday, and we talked about, trying to get himself in a good hitting position early enough to where he can start to catch that ball out in front.
So when you're in between and you're rocking the baby, right? You're going hard, soft, hard, soft.
Uh-huh.
How do you get out of that as a hitter? Do you just pick one and stay with it the whole at bat?
No, you have to. You really do. You have to. You have to eliminate off speed. And you can look foolish on an off speed pitch. And like Gibby would tell me, Simo, even if you're way out in front, just swing through it. But you don't want to be late on the dead red fastball. And you got it. That's a 95-mile-per-hour 2-seamer. Look how it runs up and in on Eric Haas. This is where the opposing pitchers have been living. Fastballs up against him, and he's just continued to chase that pitch.
And in defensive, Eric, there's not too many that can hit that one. Thank the Lord.
No,
because
that's why we continue.
That's a tough pitch to hit.
Yeah, but that's why we continue to try to push him down, get him down.
Get the ball
So
down.
you got to see it down.
Right, you got to see the ball down. Which, again, is easy preaching, hard living, right?
Yeah, easier, it's easy from the booth. But now that I've been in that batter's box, I've had to tell myself that, hey, get that ball down, push
the
it
ball
down.
Don't try to do too much. I think that's kind of the same. That's kind of the reoccurring thing is you want to keep all these guys to just continue to reinforce to them guys. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to do too much. Take what he'll give you. Tony Gwynn used to talk. I used to long ear conversations that he would have with the hitters that on the teams that I was with, and he was like, you got to understand what the pitcher's trying to do to you, and you got to understand you have to take what he is giving you. If he's giving you fastballs away, if you try to pull that, you're going to be out every time.
But for me, that's not my strength as a hitter. So then I personally, I'm not looking for that pitch. I'm looking for a pitch middle in. That's what I like. That's the zone that I'm attacking. Not every hitter in the batter's box, both lefty and righty, can cover both pitches. It's hard.
I realize that, but every swing that a hitter gives a pitcher, he's constantly talking to the pitcher about what he is cheating on, because the plate's this wide. You can't look here and hit this, or look here and hit this, and those swings give it away what you're looking for. And if I'm facing someone that wants the ball middle in, and he's going to stay there, I'm hoping that I don't miss my spot, because
well, mama, here goes that man again.
Yep.
And that's that split figure fastball. And you can see the
don't
grip
let him,
there.
Yeah, don't let him get that pitch started. Because that's the one that's unhittable.
That's the front to back we're talking about that looks like a fastball and comes in 10 miles an hour slower. And it's just, my son's a hitting coach in college, and he calls it the liar. He calls the changeup the liar. Like, it comes out like a fastball, and he says, hello, I'm a fastball. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a changeup.
That's pretty good right there, Tom.
Alex calls it the liar pitch, and that's true.
Man.
I mean, because that's what it's all about, controlling the bat head.
We've got some chirping going on from the Toronto Blue Jays.
Last inning.
Snyder been
they were
chirping over there about the strike zone. He's not happy.
He was chirping last inning on some
Snyder
pitches
there
that the Blue Jays got.
But Todd, I want to share this with you too. When we start talking about splitting the plate in half, I will tell you this from a right-handed hitter standpoint. If I'm looking out of third, make no mistake about it, I will be able to cover the inner third of the plate. Nobody hits the pitches on the edges. That's a piece right there.
Yeah, that's a good piece of hitting.
Well, it's just rhythm and timing. There's no question that Marisnick was not trying to go that way. But because he's early, right? He's early. Look at the front foot gets down. He recognized the pitch. He's working inside the baseball, not going out and around the ball. And he gets himself a knock. He gets rewarded for having a good approach. Take a look at it. This is in your living room right here. Boom. Drive that ball the other way.
You know, and this affords you the luxury, too, of being able to DH Riley Green when you've got Marisnick, who offensively has really turned it on in the last week and has been playing spectacular defense. You don't lose a whole lot.
Well, McKinstry just missed that pitch here, but the Tigers cling to a 2-0 lead going to the top of the third.
Stream your Tigers on the Bally Sports app, presented by T-Mobile. Tigers up 2-0 here. The showers have passed. The sun is out, blue sky, and Matt Manning's taking the hill up 2-0.
Petey, how about that? Turning into a beautiful day down here at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. The one thing I don't like, though, guys, I'm so honest, I can't help it. Listen. It's too many. It's a lot of Blue Jays fans here.
There are.
There's a lot of blue jerseys.
I'm seeing a lot of Blue Jay fans here.
But there's a lot of orange on the Tiger side over here. That's cool to see, since we're in Comerica.
That's what makes this series so special, is because you got Windsor right across the river. You got plenty of Blue Jay fans over there. You got London right up the way, and which is split really 50-50 between Tigers and Blue Jays.
Look at all these Blue Jays uniforms and these jerseys, these hats. I mean, this is Comerica Park. This is Detroit. Come on, Tiger fans.
I saw a Tom Hinkie jersey today.
You did?
That's a throwback from RBI Baseball on Nintendo.
Trying to tell how old you are, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
I grew up on RBI Baseball.
I did love RBI Baseball.
You played it in the retro games, the one of the Xboxes that had 500 games on it. Great pitch. Seems to be the book a little bit on Kevin Kiermaier, is with the first couple were breaking balls, and then the fastball for the strikeout right there was down, good located 95. Just wasn't looking for that particular zone right there. That was a good pitch. Matthew seems to be on point today. I don't know if is he Matthew or Matt?
I call him Matt Manning.
Matt. Okay.
Yeah. Look at Marisnick all over that. Hanging, breaking ball there.
No problem.
But I just absolutely love the way Jake Marisnick plays center field. Guys, take a look at this jump that he gets. Right away, he's on this baseball. He gets back, and he just backpedal back, making it look easy. But it all started with this pre-pitch setup. He is anticipating contact, reads the ball off the back, gets back, and just continues to make outs.
That was a really cool camera angle that they caught on that going back on. I mean, he was zoomed in on the dude on center field. I mean, that was a great camera angle.
So now you're in television now. All of a sudden now you're appreciating.
I think that was pretty awesome.
Appreciating the angles and the camera angles.
I think that was pretty awesome.
I love it, Todd. I love it.
The guy, I don't know if that's low right. I don't know what that was.
I don't know either. I'm still trying to learn the terminology.
But that was an amazing shot. I mean, Matt Manning is on good tempo right now.
Todd, I got a question for you about on this television thing, right? You tell me, do you know what the robo shot is?
Robo.
Do you know what it is?
Robo?
Robo.
No,
the robo
I
shot.
do not.
The RoboCam.
A RoboCam is a strike 3 for Brandon
We'll talk
Belt.
about the RoboCam on the other side of the break, but right now, Matt Manning cruising, putting the Blue Jays away.
They ain't looking for the fastball.
No,
that
they're
ain't
not.
a good sign for the hitter.
Coverage cam. And Riley Green in his first at-bat in over a month comes up and lobs one into center field for the single. And then his buddy Spencer Torkelson says, hey, if you're going to get on base, I'm going to knock you in. Hits that double in the gap. And then Riley Green testing out that fibula there, and all looks good. He scores the Tigers' first run, and looking forward to his second at-bat.
Well, I believe Riley be looking to do some damage here in the 1-0 count. How impressed have you guys been, though, really, with the split finger? That the ability of the Tigers to take that pitch. They have not been chasing that pitch early in this contest. I'm encouraged.
Yeah, I think that speaks to the video guys downstairs. I think that speaks to the scouting report and the focus on the understanding of how Mr. Guzman uses his split. But the thing is if you are still taking those, you've got to keep that approach the whole at bat, and not get caught into 2 strikes going to panic mode and change, because that's when the pitcher gets the big advantage.
Another good at bat there by Riley Green.
Yep. Looks like to me he's seeing it really, really good, and that's really exciting to see the first day back.
Well, I just like the fact that he's not in a rush.
It doesn't look like anything sped up.
No, he's not in a rush at all. He's calm, cool, calm, collected. Cool as a cucumber, just chilling.
Yep. Yeah. And this guy, and Torque now appears to be, over the last month or so, right, getting his sea legs. He's starting to figure out what the league's trying to do to him. He started to understand adjustments that he's able to make. He's able to make them when he gets in the batter's box. And there's still, hiccups from time to time and things like that. But, as long as he's staying up the field and as gifted as the hitters are, pitchers make a mistake, boom, they know how to handle that. But it's the other pitches, it's the pitcher's pitches that you're able to either fight off to get to the next pitch, so maybe he makes a mistake, or he can put a good swing on a good pitch because he's thinking correctly, right?
Well, he's been flexing.
That's right.
That ball on the middle end, he is hammering that pitch.
Yes, which means the
He's
word
been
can get
posting.
out, and then maybe he could get on the dish a little more and learn to cover more of the plate, because he can still cover that ball in.
Well, I'm glad you brought that point up, because that's one of the adjustments that he made in the offseason. He got a little bit closer to the dish, to where now he's made that outside pitch, the pitch that's on the outer edge, he's made that pitch now a middle pitch for him. And depending on his rhythm and his timing, it's going to tell you where he's going to hit the ball. If he's early, he's going to pull it. If he's a little late, he's going to drive that ball to right center field. So Torque really is a good place when you start talking about approach and what he's trying to do. Now, execution is going to be key.
Well, I mean, that's the key for our whole career, every day, right? Is being able to execute and play when it's hot, when it's cold, when it's raining, when you're tired, when it's getaway day, when it's not, when it's when it's in a tight game, when it's a late game, early in the game. You still want to be able to flush all of those things, shrink it all down to pitcher versus hitter, and think properly, continue to think properly, and put good swings on the ball. That Tork has been doing for the last, looks to me like 2 months. If you take a look at the hits to left field, center field, and right field, that's those are encouraging numbers when they're going center field and to right.
Well, me personally, I would like for him to be a little bit more balanced. Todd, I'm being honest with you. I'd like to see a little bit more to center and right center. Now, I'm not crazy about him having to hit the ball to right field because he is a production hitter, so producer. He's a run producer, so you want him to do that. Ooh, and he almost pulled out. He was a little early on that one, but I would like to see. I don't like the 68% to the pull side.
No,
I'd like them to be a little bit more balanced in the gaps to right center field, because I had a really good conversation with him in spring training, and he told me he takes pride in being able to drive the ball to right center. Well, he kind of got away from that a little bit, so I'd like to see him get back to that as well.
but everybody knows why you get away from it, right? Because you're struggling, or you're trying to do too much. You're trying to, cover guys that are out of the lineup. You can see the pitch sequence right there.
He threw him one slider. He started him off with a slider, but the rest of them is all split fingers.
Not one fastball.
He may not see a fastball.
He may not, and that's another thing that people at home may not realize is in the big leagues, you can go in 3 at-bats and not get one fastball. Oh. And then when you do, it's a perfect pitch. That was a perfect pitch.
Yes,
that's
it was.
Yeah, after all those split fingers, Spencer Torkelson sees, and then Simo, you talk about that all the time, that ball that's right up in your face, that's up in Spencer Torkelson. That looks really good, and he can't quite catch up on it, just got a piece of it, foul tipped it back in Kirk's mitt. But after all that split fingers, it kind of doesn't that slow you up a little bit, and then that real good mid-90s fastball, tough to catch up on.
Well, and now a message from Erickson.
Erickson products are so simple, smart, and easy to use, you'll ask yourself, why didn't I think of that? Erickson, tie it, tow it, load it.
Guys, to you guys' point about what Gausman has done and what he did to Torkelson in that at-bat, splitty, right? Everything was down. So all of a sudden, as a hitter, my eyes, I'm down, I'm looking down. And then all of a sudden, you change my eye level at 97, you speed me up.
You're done.
It's really good pitching. It's really good location. It's using the arsenal that you have to change eye levels, because a lot of times north and south works, east and west also works. But I think north and south is the most effective stuff that I had to deal with from a pitcher.
Well, I would tell you this, since you disagreed with me in the previous innings. Well, I tend to disagree respectfully just a little bit, because
don't be respectful about it. Just disagree.
I think front to back. I think velocity changes affect hitters more because they look like they're the same things, and that's why you see a guy like you don't see very many 2-pitch pitchers as starters. Maybe Randy Johnson is who I can think of, but his 2 pitches were amazing. But you can see a pitcher that's a fastball changeup. You can see those guys extending their careers longer than a guy that's a fastball slider.
Yes.
Something like that, because that's just covering in and out, east and west, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're having to cover front and back, and every scouting report we ever did as pitchers in a pitcher meeting, the really gifted super players really struggled with velocity. Getting in the cradle, going hard, soft, and nothing to Torkelson on the strikeout, but nobody can hit that pitch.
Well, Matt Manning coming back out, he's cruising here.
He's got a little bit of his own front to back today, boys.
Yes, he does.
He's running it.
Michael Lorenzen, of course, representing the Tigers at the Midsummer Classic, continuing a tradition of strong Tigers pitchers that have been all-stars for the franchise. Dan Petrie and Todd Jones both getting the opportunity to go there once. I'm sure great memories for both of you guys.
I had a dream come true, man. I made one all-star team. It was in my hometown. I had 45 people on the payroll that night. Cost me $26,000 in tickets. Tigers gave me a little bit of a bonus to help me cover the tickets. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something about the All-Star game. You got to rank family. You got to
rank them.
You got four good seats, right?
Yeah.
And that goes to Michelle, my wife. And then it goes to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to take care of the in-laws. But then you start getting into, cousins and aunts and uncles and things like that. You end up, then you got your good friends in the upper deck, Peaches, and you're in some trouble.
But speaking of the kiddos,
the kids right there.
Look,
and that's me, super sweaty guy of Andrew Jones. And I'm saying, hey, Jorge, can I have the baseball, please? Thank you so much.
What was that?
That was a little cutter right there.
Little cut piece?
Little cutter.
Okay.
He was trying to overswing, just like he always did. Thank you. That ball's foul.
Petey? And I'd love to hear about your All-Star experience.
Mine was in Minnesota, but I'll tell you what I remember the most about it was, you compete against, all these All-Stars. And I had the opportunity to sit down with Don Mattingly today and to be in the same locker room as all those people you compete against, those best players. And for one day, you're on the same side as they are, was what I remember most about that experience. The game part of it for me wasn't.
Oh, what a play! What a play there by Kerry Carpenter!
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s man. Look at him.
Carpenter running a long way for this ball. Take a look at this jump he gets off the ball off the bat. Coming in, knows that this is the only way to make the play. He's got a slide, and he makes an incredible play here. And I love that he's saying to Torkelson, I've got it. And Vlad just like, are you kidding me? You were in right center field. How do you get there and make that play? That was sick.
That was a nice play.
Dude, that was sick.
And Kerry Carpenter's matching headband with his matching orange sleeve was a little Hulkamania made that play.
It.
And there's another great play. Thank you. Yes, defense is contagious. You're exactly right. Zach McKinstry on this play right here, diving to his left, saying, I got it. No problem. Gonna square the feet, make the throw. Boom, throw me in right. I can do it in right. I can do it in second. And now I can do it at third. It's not a problem. Dive up and make a play. Matt Manning's saying, man, I'm gonna buy you a steak.
I feel like for that. Right there, McKinstry's like, all right, Kerry, Carpenter, whatever you can do, I can do better.
That's right.
And he matched him. That's a nice play.
That's the good thing about this roster. It's so fluid. Other guys Kerry can go to any other position in the outfield. Zach can go to third base. He could go to second. He could probably play short.
Oh, he plays shortstop. He's played shortstop.
And Zach Short can do other things.
Get there.
Kerry's got this one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if he caught the first one, he's going to catch that one. That was a nice
Manning
play.
Putting up zeros through 4. Tigers batting the bottom of the 4th inning.
Cole Keith and Justin Henry Malloy, they're our Chevy strongest players today as they get set for the Futures game in Seattle tonight at T-Mobile Park. These guys have put up some fantastic numbers throughout this season. Justin Henry Malloy at AAA and Cole Keith over AA and AAA, just bashing the ball all over the park. They're going to be fun to watch when they do eventually get to the major league level. But for now, they're in the Futures game, which I'll tell you a little bit more as this at-bat proceeds, guys.
No, looking forward to watching these guys and continue their development down at the minor league level. Again, Scott Harris and A.J. Hinch and his whole staff, they're not in a rush with these young men. Cole Keith is a pure hitter. Obviously, there's a lot of work to still be done on the defensive side. And he continues to work hard. Alan Trammell has talked talk to us about the work that he's putting in and how hard he's working in the minor leagues. So hopefully when he does get the call, he will be one of the most impactful players on this roster.
And guys, in talking with Riley Green, who participated in the Futures game in 2021, along with Spencer Torkelson, he reflected on how much fun he had that day, but he also reflected on the guys that played in that Futures game with him. Listen to the list of guys who were in that game in just 2021 and what they're impacting the game as far as their talents are concerned today. Julio Rodriguez, Adley Rutschman, Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Harris, who we just saw with Atlanta, Francisco Alvarez, and then, like I said, Green and Torkelson also. That kind of star power in the 2021 Futures game. What do you think when you look back at what those guys are doing now, and they were in the game just a couple of years ago?
Well, I just tell you that the game's in a really good place. Oh, they're carried. But yeah, no, to Trev's point, though, they're guys, again, when you're seeing the guys that are young as they are, 20, 21 years old, 22, and the impact that they're going to be able to have on an organization where when they do get the call up to the big leagues, they're going to be asked to perform. They're going to ask to be impact players. And I think these young men who get a chance to go play in the Futures games, that's what they want. They embrace that kind of pressure. And I know Cole Keith can't wait. Justin Henry Malloy can't wait for their opportunity here.
I remember when the All-Star game was here back in 2005, and that's when I first opened my eyes wide open to that Futures game, because I remember two people that were involved in that was Justin Verlander and Joel Zumaya, and I was at that game watching it, and then needless to say, we saw what the career that Justin Verlander had, and also just the ways Joel Zumaya was, I mean, before he was injured with that 100 miles an hour fastball. So, I mean, you get invited to this game and you play in this game, you know, your future's really, really bright. You're not just a prospect. You are one of the guys that people are serious about. You've been identified as a future star, and it won't be long before you're up here contributing.
And that's really true about what's interesting about, like, the players today. It's like, I can remember, like, you know, when a rookie would come up or a young player would come up, he'd sit in the 6, 7, 8 hole, right? Or he'd be in the middle in the game. And these guys that come up now, they go right to the right to the 3 hole. They go right to the number 2 starter. They go right to the setup and closer because the talent level has grown exponentially throughout this era of information.
And Todd, you would know this, but as Petey was describing that, the guys that he was talking about, Justin Verlander and also Joel Zumaya, I can hear Leland in my head now talking about, you know, he wants to take the best team up north in that 06 team. And he goes, Simo, I need to take the best guys, and the best guys is Justin Verlander and it's Joel Zumaya. These guys are talented. You know how he gets. He gets all passionate, and so he gets into it so much. So I truly understand what they mean when you got to have the best players here, no matter their age. And that, for us, was the biggest difference. I believe Leland forced Dave Dombrowski to call those 2 guys up. And Matt Manning coming back out for the 5th inning. And he's been absolutely dealing. Don't go anywhere.
10 high-speed pitch, and it's all about Matt Manning right now. Had to put up with a little bit of a rain delay to start, and then some rain showers, and had some trouble gripping the ball, especially his slider. He's made some adjustments and has started hitting all of his spots, thrown his curveball, got some help from his defense, and also got Whit Merrifield trying to get a little bit greedy, stealing third base, and took a man out of scoring position, but he's locked in right here, and that Whit Merrifield again leading off.
You can see he's done a good job, guys, of changing velocity, changing eye levels, and changing in and out, right? And you can see the 4-seam fastball percentages, the sliders. The curveball is the one that is giving depth to the 4-seamer, and all the other stuff, and then the slider could be the strikeout pitch right there. That was really, really pretty. That was a really good pitch right there. That's a good sequence. With it, start off with a first pitch curveball, and then you go to the slider with a different trajectory.
Look at that location too.
Yeah. That's perfect.
I mean, just the swing with Merrifield just kind of way out in front, just kind of reaching at that pitch. That was the one that he had difficulty throwing in the first inning, just kind of slipping out of his hand. And now he started throwing this first pitch curveball.
Sorry, Dan.
No, you're exactly right.
And then I think this is the first time we've seen him use that pitch as often as he has today.
He did in Texas, but it was a good combination of the two. But his velocity seems like it's ticked up a little bit. That away, comebacker saves that from going up the middle.
He's nice and fluid. And now here's a message from Rally House.
Play ball, Michigan. Shop the latest in Tiger style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
You could see in the first inning he was clawing around at the mound, and he was digging with his shoes, and his jersey was soaked. He went in there and changed, and like his tempos, he's on perfect tempo and timing.
And Seymour, we talked about in the Open too. I thought he had good velocity in Texas. Maybe that was just his first start back and some adrenaline, rushing through. His velocity was maybe down a little bit in Colorado, but he had a real good slider. Today, I think he's got the good combination of them. His velocity has ticked back up, the 93, 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, but he's got that real good combination now outside of that first inning with the slider and the curveball.
Then we've actually seen that fastball get up to 97 today. And so that speed differential between the fastball and that curveball for me has been why I believe he's been very effective.
I think he especially wants to get Mr. Kirk out because he's the guy that hit the line drive off his foot in Toronto. So he wants to pay him back here for costing him some time on the IL. So he's super dialed in on this guy. That's my call.
He's got a couple of good pitches working for himself today. What did you throw here? When you've got a really good feel for your slider and your curveball against a righty,
cheese.
You go with the cheese here?
I agree. I think it's that same one, that high fastball.
Cheese. Slider. That's okay. But it was off.
Yeah, but you can see how effective he's been in 62 pitches, 39 strikes, just 23 balls.
Now
most of those balls were early on.
Nope. Slider again. That's why pitching is tough. Or hitters have no chance. If you've got three going, if a pitcher's got three going, it's really difficult for a hitter.
And Kirk's aggressive. He's up there swinging, and that pitch was probably a good 6-8 inches outside, and he's still trying to get a piece of it.
Oh, dude, a little dewdrop.
But see, here's one you can tell the confidence that he has. He's not locked into just fastball slider. This is a curveball that he throws. Yeah, it might have been a little bit up, but that's something that Kirk, I guarantee you, was not thinking that was coming in that particular pitch in a 2-2 count.
I like the fastball up here. He went right back to that curveball. How about Matt Manning? Through 5 innings. Absolutely dealing.
The under is the play right now with just the 2 Tigers runs. Riley Green halfway to his total base total this afternoon. And Bo Bichette has not reached base yet, and that's just fine with Tigers fans. A plus 404 on those parlay odds here this afternoon, gentlemen.
Well, Mick, Matt Manning has been absolutely dealing, keeping these Blue Jays off balance. Tigers threw the first couple of punches, up 2-0. All of a sudden, Gausman, though, has kind of settled in as well. See if the Tigers can't add on a couple runs here.
I feel like you're saying, both guys have been excellent today.
I do.
I think obviously you know what you're going to get with Kevin Gausman, sorry, and you're going to get 97 at the hands and a split. I mean, it's a tough combo.
for me,
Gausman.
Matt Manning too is this is like the perfect game to be involved in, where you go out, you shut them out in the first inning, your team gets you a couple of runs, and now it's a tight ball game, and the Blue Jays offense is really, really good. So you have to really concentrate on every single pitch, because this game can be tied up in a heartbeat. So it really gets you and keeps you locked in. But you also have that little bit of margin for error because they gave it to you right in the first inning. So it's like the perfect scenario right now. So you're just saying, okay, I'm good right now, but now you can bust it open. Bust it open for me.
So the flip side of that would be Gausman saying, you know what, Dan, you're right, but I'm gonna try to keep these guys at bay. I'm gonna try to keep these guys at bay. I'm gonna continue to go with my game because my split and my cheese is pretty good.
My guys will get it for me.
And I'm gonna lay around like a prize fighter. Keep jabbing and sticking and jabbing, and lay around till that 7th, 8th, 9th round, and try to keep my team in here for a knockout. But right now the Tigers are up and doing well. And this is my pick the stick here, so I'm going to be a little selfish, a little greedy here, and cheer for my guy. I hope he doesn't throw him 97 at the top of the zone, because he did it last time. First pitch pop up. Well, 93 down and away.
And guys, we're starting to see Gausman though really start to figure it out. All of a sudden, his location has gotten better. He is really working the edges to both lefties and righties.
Well, how often do you say it too, that if you're going to get to one of these good pitchers, you got to get to him early, and the Tigers did. They ambushed him in that first inning, and then since then he's got that split finger kind of figured out, and figured out where to put that fastball, whether it's in, out, up, down.
This could be trouble. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Comerica Park. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. What do you think, Josie?
That's really good. That's a lot of words too.
That was what I was trying to slow down, make it smooth.
You got to have good tempo.
See what Riley can do right here.
Got his hands nice and tight. Perfect take. I think Gausman goes a little more fastball this at bat with
Riley Green?
With Riley, because he was taking the split so well that would tell me that he's ready for it. So that's 2 fastballs in a row.
You might be onto something there.
That you might see when you see good takes, because hitters are always talking. Yeah, he has been.
What are you seeing there?
Go ahead.
Well, I just think Gausman's pitching him very tough, and this is his first game back, and he's throwing everything to him, and he's being very, very particular. I think he's identified him as like, you know what? I don't care if this is his first game back. This is a dangerous hitter, and being very, very careful.
And Riley Green is not offered at 3 fastballs in a row. That was a nasty split, and his balance, everything is just right where it needs to be.
Well, I don't think Riley's sitting on a split finger. I think he's timing up fastball. You don't want to sit on a split finger, because when it's a good one, you can't hit it anyway.
And that one wasn't too bad. That looked like it was a pretty good swing at it.
I might not say that he's sitting on it. I'm just saying that Gausman might have realized he's had a couple pretty good at-bats with some pretty good takes on his split finger. So maybe a little bit more fastball heavy.
I was going to say, this fastball in.
But if you notice Riley's approach right there, you see that swing right there? It tells me that he's letting that baseball get deep. Now, you can see right here, pitch sequence. You see the first 3 pitches, 4-seamer, mid-90s. And then he goes splitting, and then he goes right back to that fastball. See if he'll go split finger here. Oh, he went cheese.
That was a much different swing on that fastball than any previous fastball in this at bat. He is foot down, getting ready to trying to drive that ball.
That ball was center cut.
This leads to maybe a split finger right here because of that swing right there.
And I'll rank it.
Again,
when you're changing your sights, early in the count, you could be looking out in front to pull the baseball. When you get to 2 strikes, you got to protect against the splitty or this off-speed pitch. That's a slider. First slider that he saw in that at-bat. But that means that you're in a good place as a hitter when your timing and rhythm is locked in to where you can recognize that slider and barrel it up, given that it's the first slider that you saw in an at-bat.
But being able to fight off a couple of fastballs, too, to get to that position.
Thinking deep. You got to be thinking deep, a little bit deeper with 2 strikes. Not too deep. But if Riley was thinking early on right center field on the fastball with 2 strikes, now all of a sudden you just start to look a little bit more left center. That puts you in a position to be able to handle the secondary pitches.
Right. Or you can go up there knowing that when he tries to get you out, Gausman's going to go with a split or a slider. And to Dan's point, you want to almost, it sounds crazy, and just bear with me, you want to fight off, or not fight off, but just not sell out for the fastball, because you know that you're going to get those other pitches more frequently in action counts today on this pitcher right here.
I think my question for you guys is, how frustrating is it for when hitters in the batter's box and they're fouling off good pitchers' pitches? Your pitch, when you make a pitch and I foul it off, does that start to frustrate you? Or do you just say, okay, well, I just got to make a better pitch?
I don't know if you get frustrated. I mean, because, everybody's a good hitter. Ooh, that's a good split finger.
That was, yeah. That was a good pitch.
Well, we're looking forward to watching Matt Manning take the bump here in the top of the 6th. Cling to a 2-0 lead in the top of the 6th inning with Matt Manning absolutely dealing, throwing all of his pitches for strikes. Todd, what are you liking from Matt Manning so far?
I think everything that he's thrown today, command of 3 pitches. What I really like, and again, it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm not really trying to. But what I'm just trying to stress the effectiveness of a 20-mile-an-hour difference on a breaking ball. The curveball first pitch coming in for a strike. There was one, but it was not a strike. But it's just a slower look, so it makes 95 look like a lot harder. And then he's had great location with his fastball both sides of the plate, and his slider away to the righty. But that's another curveball right there that is really opening up another dimension today that Matt is taking advantage of. And the percentages of the curveball is creeping up. That's 3 in a row.
And he's not afraid to throw it. I mean, it's 1-0, and he's going to throw it again. And he's not getting in that predictable mix of pitches,
Correct.
and I don't think that they expected that many curveballs.
Where you know that it's either going to be a fastball or a slider, but you know one thing, it's going to be hard. You can't say that today about what Matt's doing today.
No, I think you guys are making some great points about the pitch mix and also the speed differential. Take a look at how effective he has been that 3rd time through the lineup. Seems like he starts to figure it out and reading hitters and knowing their tendencies, and he makes the necessary adjustment. Now he's at the top of this batting order of the Blue Jays. Let's see if he's able to continue to be as effective as he's been so far. How about Baez there? I mean, that's a long run to go get this baseball by Baez. And I love the fact that Baez peeks over. Take a look here. He's going to peek at Vierling and see that Vierling is playing left center. He has a long way to go to make this play. Javier Baez taking charge and going out a long distance to make the second out.
And then look at Matt Manning's reaction.
And
right
Manning's
there.
like, whew, I can't believe he
And
even got there.
Vierling's reaction, too, was like, that'll
Because they were talking, Vierling was saying, hey, I can't get there.
And Marisnik and Vierling were, after the play, too, they were both looking at each other like, where did that come from? I don't think they were expecting it to be hit in that location.
I mean, how about the distance that he had to run to make that play? 118 feet to make the second out of this inning.
You know, those numbers about the third time through the lineup too. But I go back again to Texas, where he shut out that great Texas Ranger lineup for the first 5 innings, and then the first couple of hitters, I think it went walk and a hit batsman. So I think he learned from that too and said, I'm not letting down at all. I'm going to keep going hard, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3 here, right here in that 6th inning. Matt Manning completely in charge right here. You can see lots of zeros up there for the Blue Jays.
White Sox at home in Detroit, and they have their closer. I was bringing it at 98, 99, you know, around there. And he was the first hitter of that inning, bottom of the 9th, tie game. Man, first pitch slider, walk-off homer. And I'm like, this guy throw 98, 100, first pitch slider, and you take him deep. My head starts spinning like, You know what, at the end of the day, I was like, don't think about it, man. He's different, so.
Miggy's Moments are brought to you by Family Heating and Cooling and Electrical. And today's Miggy's Moments is brought to you, or we're going to hear from his old teammate, Victor Martinez.
Yeah, I would love watching those two in this Tigers lineup.
Miggy,
Martinez hitting
Victor
behind.
Prince.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just disgusting.
You're talking about posting.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And Ryan Gosman, you got to see, he's going to try to continue to put up some zeros and try to get his team back in that dugout.
He's got 86 pitches. This might possibly be his last inning.
Are you a big fan of the innings? You know, like, so a pitcher gets up close to 100 innings, you're one of those guys that believe that you got to go get him?
No, I don't believe that. I mean, I think in a special case like this, in a you know, this is his last start before the All-Star game. You know, you may want to, I don't know if you would, you know, save a particular inning here against the Tigers to maybe give him the opportunity to make sure he can throw Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would come into play, but if he was taken out around 100 pitches, you could certainly see why, because you want to give that man an opportunity to pitch in the All-Star game as well. But that was a super nice play over here by Vlad Jr. at first base on the backhand.
Don't feel it cleanly.
No problem.
Hands it.
Flippy Flipperson right to.
Little PFP there, Todd, in the backfield.
Little backfield
down
spring
in Lakeland,
training.
Florida.
Oh, man. We did that so many times.
You guys would do that.
Where were y'all? Were y'all just hitting? Oh, y'all had to be base runners. And
we had to
stuff
be
too,
base
right?
runners during those
terrible.
PFPs.
There's nothing worse than that.
It is not. But you got to put in that work. You got to put in the work.
But you got to get over there. You got to cover first base. The PFP, obviously, I was talking about pitchers fielding practice.
But how many times did guys not take it serious? And the first time in a game, they were the ones that would make an error.
Yeah,
that
would
would cost
always
the
mess
game.
it up.
You know,
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely, all the time.
I had a coach do a Jedi mind trick on every pitching staff that he ever was a part of. His name was Perry Hill.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows
Boom.
who Perry Hill is. Perry Hill was the first base coach for the Tigers. He was the infield coach for the Marlins. That year, the entire infield won a Gold Glove.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in Seattle now. He's incredible. We were doing PFPs with him. And we were on a backfield, rocket to third base. 2 outs here. And Perry Hill is leading the PFPs. And he knows that, you know, the pitchers, I mean, it's almost
just going to go through the motions.
It's like the end of spring training.
Right,
we're just going to go through the
We've
motions
done this
and
a
things
million
like that.
times.
And we did it and got done with it and all that stuff. And then and we went in the clubhouse, everything was fine. And every single pitcher, Perry Hill came up to every single pitcher and said, hey, man, thank you for doing that. That was really, really great today. I really appreciate you being out there and doing that. And to every single one of us that day, and then from that day on, every one of our pitchers says, that guy, is a guy that I want to go to battle with, because he recognized that it was the little things that we didn't want to necessarily focus on, but he made us focus on because he acknowledged that we focused on it, right?
Well, he also knows
he
that
played
it's
those
gonna
little
make a-
games.
It's
with
going to
us.
make a huge difference in a big situation,
And he knew that.
and he knew that.
And I had him one year when he had we had a Gold Glove at a shortstop and second base, and Perry Hill said, "Hey, don't try to catch anything. Let those guys behind you catch it, because they do that for a living." So we were taught not to try to stab at the line drives and all that stuff, and to just let the guys behind it make the plays. So Javi's sitting here in a 1-2 count. Sorry, 2 outs, nobody on. Manny's still stretching the lats. Big lat stretch guy. That's like the second or third time I've seen him be the lat stretch guy.
Something special might be brewing. You don't want to go anywhere. Top of the 7th. Matt Manning back on the hill.
Well, welcome back, guys. 30,621 are on hand today to witness Matthew Manning being very special. Mr. Petrie, you have taken these kind of outings very deep into the games. What are we dealing with when you're dealing with the middle of the order the third time through?
Well, you know what? Matt Manning certainly is aware of what is going on and how special this game may be. And I watched after he walked off the field, and A.J. Hinch just kept his typical, hey, not shaking his hand, but fist pumping, like nice going. And then everybody in the dugout, when he's stretching, was staying away from him. And I'd like to see everybody just kind of, hey, nothing's changed. They're still in the middle of the game, instead of treating him something different. But, Matt Manning knows exactly what's going on. He's had some good plays made behind him, and every time that, you have one of these special games going, you're going to have help by your defense, which Matt Manning has. And he's being very careful here so far to Guerrero. Ooh, that's a favor. I think that is a big, big favor.
Nice job there by Vierling on a 3-0 count. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. maybe a little bit too aggressive there.
So here would be my question, because I'm a head case, right? I can be a mental midget occasionally, right, when I'm playing. So this is your third time through, and how do you fight, Dan, the third time through, like overthinking, triple stamping a double stamp, so to speak, in the regard of this guy knows what I'm trying to throw. Do I throw it? Do I not throw it? Do I stick with the scouting report? Do I deviate from it? What's going? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, you saw what he just did. He was kind of a little maybe caught in between about what exactly to throw, and he fell behind 3-0. And I think that's why that's a huge favor that you're just hoping for. I think you had said it one time before too about if you get to 3-0, I mean, I'm taking my hat off if you swing 3-0. I think you're doing me a favor to get that first out instead of taking a pitch. Now you got that first out. Now you're re-energized. Now
that's exactly right.
Yeah,
he looks like
he looks
like
I'm
he's
right back in, locked in
with good tempo in the inning.
Yeah, he just painted that slider down the way to
Chad.
Chad.
That slider you don't want to have to deal with. The slow curveball again. That one he might have needed to maybe get that one down a little bit.
Right?
Yeah, you want to get that one down a little bit. Yeah, he's up over. He's right at 30% on that curveball, and they were saying before he's only usually been in most of his starts at 20%.
Yeah, you can't eliminate any of these pitches right now because he's throwing all of them effectively.
So sorry, Dan.
No, just one quick little point was just if you see up there too, there's no changeups, and he threw changeups in his previous 2 outings, so he's just kind of filed that one and just said, hey, these other 2 are good enough. I don't need to have that straight changeup.
This for me, I feel like is a big telltale sign. A 2-2 pitch is going to be either a breaking ball or a fastball up. Yep, the curveball.
He's got a lot of confidence in it, though.
Yeah.
Not afraid to throw it at all.
Quite often. So for me, seeing that he has this kind of confidence in that breaking ball, and his slider. Why not throw another one right here?
Yes,
3-2.
yes. You know, because he's given up 2 walks. Okay, you know, so I'm going to be really stingy. You know, but the thing of it is too is that it's still a tight game though. You know, and you got to remember that, you know, just because, you know, I've got something special going. If I walk this guy and there's a home run, I mean, we're in a tie ball game.
Use that good cheese. Don't forget that. That's why baseball's great.
Ooh, baby. How about that breaking ball right there?
That's not where he wanted it, but he got him out right there. That's that slider that was, if it's a front door slider 2-2 to Mr. Chapman, that is next level. And you're dealing with something that is special that's going on today, because if you're able to think about the front door breaking ball, the right-handed slider from the right-handed pitcher to the right-handed hitter that comes in right at the last minute, and you're able to execute something like that, you're at another level. And that's cool to see. And then you do the little dewdrop breaking ball. Guys, I mean, come on.
I mean, you guys got to see my partner.
Let's go.
He's excited.
Let's go. You're getting fired up
up
about this. Not anything that's going on, just his execution of pitches. But here's my question, because I'm a mental midget. Don't get too cute, right? Don't overthink the situation. The hitters are still talking to you. They're still telling you what they're looking for. And you just got to stay with your catcher. You've got to stay with your report and get out of your own way.
Well, I don't believe he gives in to Biggio here. Again, he's got a good feel for his slider. We've talked at length about the curveball. But that 95-plus fastball plays here, too.
It'll
in his
play
zone.
here. That'll do it, too.
There's that confidence in that curveball again. Again, 3-1 curveball. And I mean, if you're going to throw it that good, and you're going to throw it 3-1, why not come back and throw it 3-2?
You have to throw it 3-2.
Got some cheese coming. It's all right.
Yeah, now the question is, he's up to 91 pitches. Here goes A.J. with Foley throwing out there, and just his 3rd start back from the IL. Yeah.
You gotta do it. You gotta take him out. I'm sorry.
We just got a chance to watch.
Summary, and it's all about Matt Manning today. I mean, it started off a little hairy for him. He hits Bo Bichette, walks a batter, but then all of a sudden he starts getting it locked in. He starts getting confidence in his breaking ball, his curveball in particular, but then his fastball he starts painting, and then he gets some great help from his defense on a couple of different situations, both in the infield and the outfield. Gets that nice ovation stepping off after going 6 2/3 innings of no-hit baseball, and turns it over to Jason Foley, who hasn't pitched since last Sunday, to face a very tough Whit Merrifield to get out of this inning.
And for me, A.J. Hinch pushing the right buttons, going to get Jason Foley. Here's our wall side windows pitching change here. And it's Jason Foley. He is a ground ball waiting to happen. Has the highest ground ball rate in all of baseball. And right now with Biggio at first base, that's exactly what A.J. Hinch is looking for right here.
In order to get that ground ball, Simo, you got to be at the belt or below, right? You've got to be at the hitter's, you know, middle of the quad or below, and you know, Foley's got the 98-mile-an-hour bowling ball, and if he gets it down, there's a really good chance he can get a double play.
Todd, he's got great arm side run with that fastball, though.
And he really struggles.
Keep that ball away. Keep that ball down and away. Saw an uncomfortable swing on a slider. from Matt Manning, Merrifield's last at bat.
So then in this situation, even though Foley has that really good two-seam fastball, you like that slider down and away here to Whit Merrifield?
The last at bat, you saw that uncomfortable swing, and I believe that was an 0-2 pitch from Manning, and he just had an uncomfortable one on the 0-1 swing. You see Eric Haas setting up on that outside part of the plate.
I think no matter where it is, whether it's in or out, it's got to be down, right? If it's going to be effective, unless you're going up out of the zone.
Well, take a look at where Shorty is here, Todd. Though. Take a look where Shorty is. Shorty's playing him up the middle. So with Merrifield with 2 strikes, he likes to go to that right side of the diamond. So that might be why you might see Foley go down and away.
Nice call.
Coming up is the Figer Law 7th inning stretch. Matt Manning putting up zeros, Petey, putting up absolute zeros, throwing darts inside, outside, up, wherever he wanted to today. Now, he did have something brewing. The big question is, what's your thoughts on Matt Manning being taken out of this ballgame?
Well, you know that Matt Manning certainly didn't want to be taken out of the ballgame. Right. I mean, anytime you have something special going like he did, having given up no hits, you don't get these opportunities very often. But in the back of his mind, he knows that, you know what, there's probably a good chance. He's at 91 pitches. He knows how many pitches he's at. They're not going to let me go 110, 120 pitches to possibly go 9 innings, especially being his 3rd start off the IL. You don't want to come out, but you certainly understand it. And you're going to say, you know what, I'm good with that.
Todd, I need you to play manager. You're A.J. Hinch. How do you feel about the decision that he made?
I mean, you have to make that decision. The question becomes, at what point do you make the switch for the situation for the reliever in the pen to give him the best opportunity to get the inning over with? And that's the only thing, because Dan's exactly right. He's got 91 pitches with 2 outs in the 7th, right? 2 outs, 2 outs in the top of the 7th. He wasn't going to be able to go 9 anyway, because he'd be sitting at 130 pitches right off of the IL, and that's like high school stuff. You don't do that to a guy coming back from the IL, and AJ understands that more than anybody. So he was going to have to make the decision anyway. The problem, the opportunity then became, what's the best situation that I can bring Foley, and then probably maybe if I have to go to a lefty with Chasen, but then have a chance to bring Lang in. If all that's going to happen, let's go ahead and make this decision right there in the 7th inning, where Mr. Foley's got the 98 mile-an-hour bowling ball, and he can come out there and finish, probably start or finish the 8th inning, and then go to Lang. But you know, to your guys' point, at 91 pitches in the 7th inning, a no-hitter on one guy ain't happening anyway.
No, I agree with you guys both. I think A.J. Hinch, again, protecting Manning, given the injuries that have happened to his starting staff and his relievers, I think it's important for him to protect the player from himself, because the player, you know, Matt Manning, he wants nothing more than to go out there and give himself a chance to do exactly what you said, do something special that you rarely see at the major league level.
But the opportunity is still there. I mean, it's still you know, there.
It's
for the entire team.
From a team.
For the entire team. Yes.
I would argue that might be a little harder.
You can make that argument.
There's Shorty. Dang it.
Hit it to somebody
really
else.
Good plays
hit it to that guy.
Chapman over there. You're watching one of the best third basemen in the game.
Yeah, team meeting, guys. Team meeting. Don't hit it to Matt Chapman.
Look at him set up, get really low so he can read the hop, pounces on this ball, gloves it, spins. Akron playing catch, hitting him in the chest. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at first base.
He's a free agent, right?
Yeah.
That would be
Are you suggesting that you would like to see him?
That would be a wonderful addition to someone.
I love how pretty quick. I see how you did. I like what you did there, Todd.
Someone,
I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I mean,
somebody is going to
wants
benefit
him, right?
well from that young man because he is a special player, and they would say that he's having they would say he's having a little bit
of a down year,
of a down tick year,
Well,
which is great for the rest of baseball.
I mean, he's hitting 260. He's got 12 bombs, 39 RBIs. I mean,
but remember when we saw him in April? I mean, that was when right after he was coming off with the Player of the Week honors or something like that, and he was hitting bombs left and
he
right.
was hitting
and
everything.
So he might have cooled off since that time.
But you're right. You're getting a solid defensive third baseman, whoever decides to sign him to a long-term deal in the offseason. And you're going to get a power bat.
I think there's 20 teams in baseball that would love to him and be able to budget that.
All right, looks like Jason Foley's got the top of the 8th inning. Tigers cling to a 2-0 lead. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Players only.
Cast 3D powered by Google Cloud. And here's Matt Manning's outs per pitch type on the four-seam fastball in red, curveball in blue. But you can see at the top of the strike zone, there's some red up there. In the curveball, generally you don't see a lot of pitches or curveballs thrown at that particular height. They're usually down in the strike zone. So I think Matt Manning, that was probably a little bit by design, thinking that, you know what, if they're going to swing at it and I'm going to get some outs up there, I'm going to stay up there with them. And that was a big pitch for him throughout the game, really, especially after that first inning. But I think that's a lot of times by design. We always think that they have to be down, but I think they recognized something and just said, hey, I don't necessarily have to be perfect with it, and I'm going to get out. I can get outs no matter if it's down or it's up.
Then I think we're starting to see that also around the league with two-seam fastballs. As a hitter, so many times you're thinking two-seamer, it's going to bite down in the zone. Well, they're starting to elevate that two-seamer, and obviously guys take that pitch or swing through it because you're looking for it to dip a little bit more.
And sliders.
Sliders as well.
Yeah.
You're starting to see them use it. So I'm with you. I'm almost positive that it's by design that you throw that curveball at the top of the strike zone because hitters, again, are looking for that ball to be down in the strike zone.
Well, I think a high curveball is probably not that easy to hit.
No, you almost want to give up over it.
Exactly, but you know it's going to be called a strike, so you have to swing at it.
You have to swing at it.
Good split finger, right?
Yeah, he's been working on this change up here. Jason Foley, you got a really good fastball at 98. And Jonesy.
He's got the good changeup backing up 98 right there with the strike, and that's the changeup grip. You're right, Simo. Great pitch.
See him turn that thing over, creating that run away from the left-hander.
Matt Manning talked to Jason Foley in the inning and said, hey, make sure you get this Kirk guy out for me, will you? Because he hit that ball off my leg in Toronto. I'm still mad at him about it.
Well, Kirk, he's hunting fastballs, especially middle in. He likes that pitch.
As a reliever, I would think, I've never been in one of these, but you don't want to let the moment get so big. You're focused on making a pitch. You're focused on whoever you've got this inning to hand it to the next guy, so you can keep the line moving. You want to not get caught up in it. You want to block everything out, and you want to use your good fastball. Maybe a good slider right here would be a good pitch.
Nice job there by Marisnik. Now a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Returning AC Plan trade-in lessees can lease a Bronco Sport Big Bend for $449 a month for 24 months. See your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
Nice adjustment there by Marisnik on that fly ball because he broke in, took a false step in, and realized that he had to stay back to make that play. Quick and easy.
First pitch out to end the inning.
Quick and easy work.
Here we go, gang.
Don't look now. You don't want to go
Don't look
anywhere.
now.
Something special is brewing.
Pre-game total for total runs scored was 8. Just 2 runs scored so far today. The current number set at 2.5. Are you going to hold? You're going to put some money down on the Tigers to score another run.
I think I'm going to put some money on the Tigers scoring another run here.
Are you? All right.
Mickey York.
All right.
Thanks for the update.
Live dangerously.
Why not?
This is my pick the stick. I'm going to be a little greedy here, a little selfish.
Are you going to call it shot?
McKinstry to get a knock. They keep staying up with 99. That's going to be a tough challenge.
Well, there goes Alex Lang starting to loosen up. Getting ready for the 9th inning. Still wouldn't mind a couple of add-on runs here, fellas.
Well, it starts with Zach McKinstry getting on, helping Todd Jones out, but getting on and putting a little pressure on that Blue Jay defense.
And then he wasn't with us in spring training. And we got a chance to go down to spring training. How impressed have you been with this young man? When the Tigers signed him, I don't think any of us knew exactly who he was and what he was going to bring to this team. But he has stabilized the top of this batting order. Get up.
Well, we're not supposed to hit it to Chapman, so I guess we're not supposed to hit it to Vlad either.
Yeah, ball kind of got in on McKinstry, though, and Vlad timed it perfectly and went up and made a play.
We're talking about McKinstry. No, I mean, you certainly knew who he was, you know, heard his name and playing with the Cubs and the Dodgers, you know, but he got off to a little bit of a rough start. And then all of a sudden, you know, he was playing some more, started walking, started hitting with power, started getting on and stealing bases, started playing defense. And all of a sudden it was like, wow, and now he's in the leadoff position and really, whoa, that one just a bit outside.
Finally get to do it.
Yes.
Just a bit outside.
But he's held down that leadoff spot against right-handed pitching, and it's been a great signing. You got to give Scott Harrison and the front office a lot of credit in getting Zach McKinstry over here.
And the fact, to the Tigers, you know, delight that he can play
multiple
three different positions is why he can stay out there on the field.
All of a sudden, Riley Green's got himself a 3-2 count. See what he gets here from Pearson.
Fastball, don't you think?
Don't miss it. That's another good at bat there.
How careful? How careful they're pitching him.
Well, we've got something brewing here at Comerica Park. And due up in the top of the 9th inning is the top of the Blue Jays batting order. Shed, Belt, and Guerrero Jr.
What I know about Alex Lang is that dude out there was born for a situation like this, because
he's got legitimate swing and miss.
He's not getting 7, 8, 9. He wouldn't want it. He'd want 1, 2, 3. Would be exactly who he would want. And he's going to be bringing 3+ pitches.
Yes, he is. 97 two-seamer, wicked curveball,
and it's been a week.
And a change.
So he's going to be strong.
He's going to be
really,
amped.
really strong. But Jonesy, I mean, you were a closer. I mean, 9th inning. How would you feel in a situation like this, coming in to close a game out as special as this one is?
Well, I mean, you know,
it's not the company line, because your job is to look at the three guys that you have to face, understand what they're going to try to do to you. You know, manage the emotions, throw more if you've had a week off and you've got this thing that you're walking into. You know, maybe throw more down in the bullpen to knock some of the edge off.
Yeah.
You know, right now is kind of like the work's already been done for Alex. He's in preparation mode, because mentally he's been preparing for this, like all of the relievers do at about the 4th or 5th inning. That's when they kind of turn it on, and then the 7th and the 8th, they're mentally focused. And then when you have a good setup man like I had in front of me, I could count 3 guys, and then I knew I had those 3 guys coming up for my inning. And with Foley in front of Alex, that gives him a chance.
Oh, stay fair ball.
Oh,
Torque,
wow.
You got to talk to that ball and make it stay fair.
Yeah. Man.
Sometimes the balls just don't do what you want it to do, right?
That's right.
But boy, did he pull those hands inside.
Yeah.
And look at Torque. He's leaning. You see him leaning. He's trying to get it to go fair. But Jonesy, I really love where you're at, Jonesy, here, because I really want to get into the mindset of a closer in these situations. You know, right now, what are you thinking?
You know, just like I was talking about before, you know, you've got Bichette, you've got Belt, and you've got Guerrero. You know the reports. You know what you do well, what you pitches you want to execute, and you know, you don't want to let the moment get out of the way. And take your work on your breathing, take your deep breaths, and just go out there and let it happen. And then when you're walking out there, you know, you're going over your last minute preps, and then you get on the mound and you get 8, and you're ready to go. You see what happens, and you know, maybe there's some jitters. Maybe there's going to be some jitters the first pitch of the inning that we'll talk about when we come back.
Sounds good. Look at you, big league teasing. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break. Miller-like moment. It's my teammate, former teammate, Todd Jones and I teammate, Justin Verlander. The last time that we have seen zeros up on the board in this ballpark, and it was done by that young man, a very young Justin Verlander, with electric stuff.
We were both there.
I was in left field and didn't get one ball.
I was right there with you. I was
talking to you the whole time.
In the dugout talking. I was in the bullpen talking the whole time. What I remember about that game was there was a defensive replacement. Nefi Perez came in the 9th inning, made some diving, amazing play up the middle to keep it going, and then Justin, the last 3 pitches of the game, 101, 102, 101 for the fly ball, because they made him hit the fastball. If you want it, go get it with the fastball, and I loved it. It was great.
That was special watching him. It seemed like every time he took the bump, something special was going to happen.
Something could happen.
Yeah.
So really, back to Lang, back to this situation. Not the special situation going on here. You just want to win the game. If you're Lang, you're thinking about you're just minimalizing everything and trying to focus on what you're going to do out there. You know who you got, and you're ready to go.
Well, you also have to go back a couple of years, Jonesy. Eric Haas catching Spencer Turnbull, Seattle, for the no-hitter. He's been in this situation before, so he understands.
Ooh, that's good. That bodes well for Alex. That bodes well for. It's going to be interesting to see if Haas meets him at the mound in between innings. It's going to be interesting to see if Haas will go out there when he goes 1-0, if he goes 1-0, 2-0.
Well, let me ask you this:
something like that.
Is that what you would want, being the closer that you have been?
I would sure like somebody that's. I mean, read the situation.
Yeah.
If I'm barely missing, okay. But if I'm all over the place, go out there, ask me what I had for breakfast.
You know, help me get my mind out of it and then get right back in it, right, to reset.
I like
that.
But
I mean, that's invaluable to have a guy that's been in a particular place that this game is headed, and you want to be able to lean on it. It's going to be super interesting to see if he meets him at the mound.
And Juan Nieves out there too. He's been in that situation himself. And I think he's setting Alex Lang up to tell him, yeah, this is a scouting report, but this is what the tendencies have been so far in this game. So what are you going to throw?
That's going to be interesting.
You make a valid point there too, Dent.
We're going to watch the whole thing. Man, this is giving me goosebumps, guys.
I'm getting them with you, partner.
I'm not crying, you're crying. This is why you do it. Well, Alex Lang, our wall side window pitching change. Alex Lang coming in 34 2/3, 3.89 ERA, 29% punch out rate, walk rate at 14%, and the OPS is whatever because it's the 9th inning and the Tigers are winning. And we all know what Alex can do. He's got the power curveball. He's got 97 sitting on his belt. And he's got the Fosh fadeaway changeup for the lefties. And the adrenaline is super pumping right now, I would imagine, and you just want to try to combat that with your breathing. But you know, you're playing sweet emotion, and then the Tigers are winning. It's a save opportunity. These situations don't come around very often. You've got Bichette, then you've got Belt, then you've got Guerrero, and you know, obviously the first couple pitches of each hitter is going to be very, very important.
I would say to Bichette especially, watch that first pitch to him.
Yeah.
He's been super aggressive in his first 2 at-bats of the ball game, and I'd be very, very careful with that first pitch. Wouldn't surprise me at all that he drops that curveball in there first pitch.
And that plays right into Alex Lang because he's got 2 first pitches that are equally usable and nasty with 97 on a sink and this power knuckle curve. And I'm with you, and I'm thinking power knuckle curve first pitch just to keep everybody honest, and then fastballs away. But we'll see.
That's it.
There we go.
You see him swinging out of his shoes. He's looking for fastball.
That's right. So that hasn't told you the whole story, but maybe you're going to go fastball away right here or another knuckle curve.
So you make no mistake about it that the Blue Jays are well aware of what's going on, and you don't want to be a part of it from an offensive standpoint. So guys are going to be maybe trying to do a little bit too much, and that's something that Alex Lang can take advantage of.
I just think Alex Lang came out of there and just said, you know what, you're getting nothing but my best. And my best is that curveball, and it's strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, all with the curveball, and that all-important first out of the inning.
Yeah, and that's the pitch that he loves to go to. It's his go-to pitch.
Squared around the bunt.
Wow.
Squared around the bunt.
And listen to the crowd, let him have it. And you can see where the defense is playing. They're playing belt to pull.
Overthrow that one just a little bit because he's trying to specifically hit that down and away with the breaking ball right here. You don't want to make any mistakes. Obviously, you don't think that way, but you're going to bounce this knuckle curve right here. That's all right.
Guys, we are on the verge of franchise history. Let's sit back and just watch. History. Guys, we have just witnessed history down here at downtown Detroit at Comerica Park, a combined no-hitter for the Detroit Tigers.
Look at that celebration right on the mound where it all took place. Look at everybody hugging Jason Foley and Alex Lang as they walk off the field, just making history here at Comerica Park against one of the finest offenses in the American League, the Toronto Blue Jays. And we were here to see it, Todd Jones. Unbelievable.
Matt Manning, Foley, Alex Lang. Complete domination. It's an honor to see. Bless you, boys.
And I love it, though, because my partner here, Todd Jones, who wears that Old English D with so much pride, getting emotional because it's an emotional time for the Detroit Tigers and this organization and where they're trying to go. And this bullpen, well, it was set up by Matt Manning, sensational today. And then being able to give the ball to Foley, coming in and dominating as well. And then how about Alex Lang, who says, chill and live for this moment. Let me take you down to Trevor Thompson, who's with the boys that was able to make this happen.
Oh, Guy, they're celebrating the moment. Eric Haas joining the fray right here. He was a piece of this here today, catching all three of these guys in the first combined no-hitter in Detroit Tigers history. 6 2/3, 91 pitches for you, Matt. Tough start in the rain. How are you feeling right now when you reflect on this moment?
No, I feel good now. It's not three guys I'd rather do it with, man. You guys were special tonight, and it was awesome.
Walk me through that first inning. You had to battle a lot of things, the elements, the mound, slippery baseballs, and how did that help propel you to what eventually took place after?
Yeah, just battling adversity. It was just, it was really good. I got in a rhythm with Haas, and it was just eating up innings.
To be a part of franchise history in a fashion like this, what's that mean to you in this moment?
No, it feels good now. No, it's really cool.
It wouldn't be complete without the Gatorade shower. What about the way these guys came in and did their work after you left the mound? And what did you think when AJ came and got you at that point?
No, it was fine. It was really cool. I wanted these guys to be a part of it. I'm all about winning, so above the personal accolades, I'm just glad we got the win tonight.
Jason, what's going through your mind when you come to the mound in that situation? You need one out to complete that seventh and then get this thing rolling after that. What will go into your mind?
Yeah, I definitely thought Matty was going to keep going there, but I just got in there, tried to throw some strikes and get him out of that inning and just keep it going in the eighth.
And how do you feel about being a part of history in this fashion?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and again, couldn't have asked for two guys to do it with, and Haas called a fantastic game all game, so kudos to him.
Alex, they were saying in the booth that you were built for a moment like this. How are you feeling? And walk me through the night that curve was working as well as it ever has.
Man, holy shit, how about that, Detroit? How about
there we go.
Sticking it through the rain? Let's go! Come on, yeah!
We apologize for what you might have just heard there, but go ahead.
Hey, I mean, we're not doing this without Hossie, man. I mean, what a great game. This is the second no-hitter. Matt Manning setting the tone for the boys. Foley doing his thing. I mean, thank you guys for sticking around. Let's go Tigers, baby, huh?
Hossie, give us a thought on what it's like to be a part of this and what you saw from all three of these guys throughout the afternoon.
Just execution, right from the get-go, keeping guys uncomfortable. Obviously Foley come in, shut the door, and Langer right there too. Right around the 6, you start count outs a little bit and start to navigate the lineup, and they just kept executing, so it was great.
We saw how good that lineup can be last night. How did you guys turn it around here today to get this kind of outcome? What was the game plan that they executed here today?
The opposite of what we did yesterday. It's just baseball. One day you get out there, get your teeth kicked in, and the next day, combined no-hitter. So it's just, that's baseball, and that's what we're here to do.
Congrats, guys, on being a part of Tiger history. I know you want to enjoy it inside the clubhouse with the guys, so go ahead and do that. Matt, congrats on win number 3 on the season. Great stuff, guys. Thanks for this. Back upstairs we go to the Players Only broadcast.
I mean, what a moment. What a moment for those 3 guys there. Matt Manning setting the tone. Jason Foley coming in and doing his thing. And then Alex Lang with legitimate swing and miss stuff comes in and closes the door and completes the no-hitter. Petey, can you put this into words?
You know what, I love the fact that they're down there, they're all 4 of them together, and just being buddies, just being players. We're down there almost every day, and we see these guys, and you just root so hard for them, and to see this, you don't anticipate this happening in the first couple of innings, and then the emotion grows with each and every inning, and all of a sudden it's over and they're celebrating it. And I gotta tell you, Eric Haas, I was watching as soon as that final out, he turned to home plate umpire Eric Backus and gave him pointed right at him and said, great job. Giving him the kudos, like you just had a big part of that game too. So those 4 players, but then that home plate umpire, everybody played a big part in this game.
Well, partner, I love this man here sitting beside me, Todd Jones. Let's take a look, though, before we get to TJ, but how about this curveball there? Down.
Make the throw, make the throw, make the throw. Yes. Time to bounce.
And you can see Alex Lang and the emotion and the connection between those two. Just executing pitches all day long. Being on the same page with Matt Manning. Being on the same page with Jason Foley. And then coming in with Lang and not missing a beat. Lang was absolutely sensational there going through the first. The top of that batting order.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. And now my partner, Todd Jones. Look at the reaction here, Todd.
Yeah, these
are
guys,
the moments.
These guys, they show up in February. They work out the entire year. They all go through the ups and downs together. They all have been through the ringers, the 9-game losing streaks, the 12 runs they gave up last night, and then to completely be able to flush all of that. That guy's having trouble getting over the fence. Who is that?
That's Reese Olson.
Oh, that's Olson. He's a young guy. Somebody help him.
But how about
Give
that?
him a little.
Casey Mize, Michael Lorenzen, all the boys, man. This is a close-knit group, and that's what I love about being around this team.
That's right.
You see them in the clubhouse. You see them on the road. These guys are vested together. They are together, and man, what better way to complete this history being created here down at Comerica Park. We're having those 3 guys do it. And my partner here, man.
I mean, that was players only. That was pretty awesome.
And Todd Jones, he gets so emotional, guys, and I love it, that fact that he lives it. He understands the moment, how big it is. And share with us what you're thinking right now.
Well, I mean, it's just really cool to, have a chance to see something like that, to be able to broadcast it with you guys. And all the prep and all the stuff that we do to watch and get close to this team, like we all have a chance to get close to them. They're old enough to be we're old enough to be the dads. And these guys, I mean, you pull for them and you root for them, and when they give it up or when it doesn't go right, you feel for them. And then when you see something like this today, and you see everything come together, and you see Matt Manning, dial up everything. You see Foley come in and throw the bowling ball, and then Alex the Matrix coming in with everything. It's just beautiful, and I'm just grateful to be here. Thank you for thanks to Bally for letting me be here, and it was just so cool to see.
And that bullpen has been so overused recently, and Jason Foley and Alex Lang well rested to come in and put the finishing touches on this no-hitter. It was perfectly designed by A.J. Hinch. I don't know if he planned it that way, but it was perfect.
Well, how about this? Players-only broadcast. We got a chance to witness history, Tigers history, at Comerica Park. Let's send it down to Mickey York.
Hey, Simo, thank you very much. And our players aren't done. They're sticking around for Tigers Live because this was a day that went from soggy to sunny to special. Matt Manning was the man, no hitting the Blue Jays during his term on the mound. Jason Foley, Alex Lang wouldn't let it slip away. We'll take you inside a joyous Tigers clubhouse, and A.J. Hinch wasn't a very popular man at one point during today's game. We'll get the reasons behind his decision-making this afternoon next on Tigers Live.